Hello everyone, I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Mom.
And this is Millennial Mom. And in today's video, we are back to review 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 4, Episode 13, Pleasure Principle. It isn't it a Janet Jackson song, Mom?
Yes, it is. They used to be the jam back in the day.
Can you sing it?
I can, but it takes a long time to get to the hook. So I'm not going to sing it this time.
Well, might as well just get into the video.
We begin with baby girl Lisa and Usma.
Old girl Lisa.
I have been waiting for them to come back on. So now they have to figure out how to get that divorce decree from the States so that she can get married to Usman, or they can get married. I think I said it right.
You did.
She calls the courthouse and tells them, I'm in Nigeria. I need my divorce decree. Now, I didn't think it was that simple. I didn't think you could just call, because they can't verify who you are without ID, and be like, oh, I need my divorce decree. Well, it turns out the lady's like, at the very end of the conversation, like, okay, we can email it to you.
Well,
yeah.
That's not what got me. What got me was when she was talking to the lady on the phone, she was like, oh, well, she doesn't sound pleasant.
Well,
isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
It is. No pun intended. But anyways, like I said, you should be able to verify your identity. That just didn't come across real to me. But okay, whatever. They get the divorce decree via email. Lisa can print it out later. And of course, she's all lovey-dovey with Usman, all that stuff. Now, they're at dinner. But 2 hours earlier, Lisa said that she went through Usman's phone. And what was in there? Bees and whores.
No, she wasn't trying to go through Usman's phone. She was trying to get the Wi-Fi.
So she said. Now, I didn't hear her talk about Wi-Fi any other episode in any other hotel they was at. She's like, oh, this is what you want to do? Huh, Usman? This is what you want to do? You think I'm stupid? Huh? That's what you think? Listen, I'm older than you. I know the game more than you. You think I need this? I have plenty of men back in that want me. I don't need this.
It wasn't plenty of men. She said 50.
Whatever. The point is, she tried to tell Usman, don't be thinking that you got something, because I'm a prize back at home. I was like, oh, for real?
I don't know who she thinks she looked like. Maybe she thinks she looks like Darcy or something.
Now, beauty is an eye of the beholder. So it doesn't matter what you look like. There's always someone who's going to like you, regardless of what you look like. She's talking smack to Usman, and Usman just sitting there just like,
Well, yeah, because she's berating him like that's her son or somebody.
Right, like normal.
And also, he was giving an explanation of why he was calling them baby and love. It wasn't like they're his girlfriend. That's just something he say. So I was thinking, so you call her baby girl Lisa and love and all that stuff, so you don't really mean that towards Lisa?
Well, I guess if you call everybody baby girl in love, you just insert name here, and that way, I'm talking to you. So, but Usman's like, if I did that with everybody, I would have 100 girlfriends. And Lisa's not buying that, so she gets up and she walks away. She is not trying to hear that. Lisa is always yelling and walking away. Usman's like, he feel like he's going to give up his family and friends. He knows there's a better opportunity in America. But he's like, why should I give up my family and friends and everything just be yelled at every day?
That wasn't even the kicker for me.
What was the kicker for you?
When she called him local talent.
That's true.
I was like, but you were the same lady.
Come on, do it.
Who was
Let's take a
picture.
Here we go.
In the crowd. All that whole time. From Coming to America to the music video you was trying to be in. But now, instead of him being Mr. Worldwide like you try to make him seem, he's regular Nigerian talent.
Yeah.
She need to go somewhere.
She do need to go somewhere. At the end, they decide to, Usman gets her to calm down. Sit down and let her know, listen, I want to marry you. Let's just get this together, put it behind us, and go from there. And Lisa's like, if I didn't love him with all my heart, if I was in America, I would change my number a long time ago. I was like, okay.
I guess she got it like that, huh? Then we have Ed, and we see him walk up to his hotel room because he wanted to give Rose some space. That's why he got up and walked away from her. So while he gave her some space, She was like, I'm out. Bye.
Well, how much space does he need? Because, I mean, he gave her some space and he gave her some space. And the episode before, he gave her some space and walked away. And the episode before, he gave her space and walked away. She's tired of this, Ed.
Gets to the room. She's not there. He starts the waterworks.
Oh.
I died at that part.
I couldn't. I didn't feel any sympathy.
He worked up those tears, though. I was really surprised because Stephanie only gives us that one tear. Mm-hmm. Ed gave us all the waterworks that we needed.
I think Ed is a little more invested into the relationship than Stephanie. But, Ed, he's given a tear a few times. But I don't think he actually thought Rose was going to leave. I don't think so. I thought maybe she'd leave to go somewhere else, but not leave, take your stuff and leave. Mm-hmm. So I think he was emotional about that. And I also believe he was emotional that he put on himself was because he got to think about that relationship that he has or is strained with his daughter.
Right, but I don't like how he put his relationship with his daughter and try to compare it to him trying to have a relationship with Rose.
I didn't like that either. It was like, well, if I didn't do this, our relationship would be better. Maybe, but I think that maybe the relationship with his daughter may have been strained anyways, just the things that he does and his habits and maybe keeping Rose's secret and the age of Rose played a part in that too. Geoffrey is finally home from Russia. His boys pick him up from the airport and, while he's going through the airport, he looks at his texts and looks like Varya has sent quite a few texts. And Geoffrey's still in the mindset like, I don't want to be bothered. She had her chance. And I was like, okay, Geoffrey, stand by whatever you're trying to stand by, but okay. He gets in the car with his boys, and they ask how the trip was. And, of course, he explains that, Varya didn't want to get married and how disappointed he was, but he'll be okay. And then he also tells them about how he told her family about his prison stint. And the boys just kind of listening and kind of like, oh, okay. They didn't have too much to say about that.
Except for the part where one of the boys who was driving said that he already knew that they were going to get married. He said he had a feeling.
Now, it's 3 weeks later. Geoffrey's at home. You see him getting ready for a date. I was like, I bet he's going to see Mary.
I was like, no, because he turned that girl all the way down in front of her face.
Yeah, he did. But at least he was honest with her, said he didn't want that type of relationship with her at that time. But now Geoffrey is like, okay, well, I want to see where it goes. I just want to know if this is the right time for us now and if it's meant to be. And while he's saying that, again, he's saying about the text. Varya's still texting. And he still hasn't responded to her 3 weeks later. And I'm thinking, why keep texting Varya? Why would you do that? Geoffrey's at dinner. Mary comes in and Mary's excited but apprehensive at the same time because she's like, she wants to think that Geoffrey's on the same page and actually left Varya behind because clearly he was into Varya more so since he said it to her face, right?
Mm-hmm. Mary is a whole different breed of a person because that would not have been me. You're not going to be my friend for all this time. You turned me down multiple times and you go to a different country with this girl. And now since it didn't work out with her because according to him, he wants someone who's making sure that they know what they want. He knows what he wants and they just gonna go for it without giving people time to adjust of what they're telling them.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but Geoffrey says he thinks this is the time now. And he asks Mary, so do you want to be my forever friend or you want to be a partner or soulmate? And of course Mary's like, a partner.
I was like, who does he think he is?
Geoffrey?
Absolutely not. It is not okay to be a rebound. Not like that.
It's not. The next afternoon, Geoffrey and his boys are out bonding. Geoffrey tells them, you remember Mary. like she's in another country too. You remember Mary? They're like, yeah. So Geoffrey tells about that date. And they're like, yeah, well, we hope you're happy, So the boys are on the side. They want to see their dad happy. The most shocking part was the next day. The next morning. You see the airport, you see the escalator, and I'm thinking, we switched scenes. Ed's back already? It's not Ed, it's Varya. I was like,
surprise.
What? That got me. I was stunned.
It got me too because last episode I was so happy for Varya. I'm like, girl, you dodged a bullet, you know, trying to stay by your guns, because he was really being disrespectful to her in that car and just so cold. But all the texts, and you haven't received a text from him till 3 weeks later, and now you just popped up in Knoxville, Tennessee?
That's what I said. But she was ready, though. She said she was here for her Prince Charming. She was excited. She was walking around like, oh, he doesn't know I'm here. I'm thinking, clearly. Right. So, but what got me was when she got to the hotel, she's like, I only plan on staying at this hotel one night. Because I plan on staying with Geoffrey the rest of the time I'm here, for the 2 weeks I'm here. I was like, oh, really? She gets in the cab, gets to Geoffrey's house.
Before she got in the cab, she said she wanted to put something sexy on, put something cute on. But what she wearing, it wasn't cute. It was like a leather skirt, some tights, a leather shirt, like she was going to a business meeting.
Each his own. Well, when she got to that door, she was like, "Ooh, he doesn't know I'm here." Ding dong. Geoffrey opens the door like, "Hi, are you surprised?" He's like, "Yeah."
It looked like he was surprised.
I'm surprised. Next, you know, you hear the, who's that?
I was like, Mary?
Mary,
She in the house?
it was Mary.
She moved in that fast? Or maybe she's just visiting. I don't know, but
Woo.
Varya, leave. Darcy and Tom. Now I pray this is our last time seeing Tom, because
I don't know.
if he's not with Darcy anymore, we really don't need to see him.
That's true, we don't.
But we saw him. Meeting up with his friend.
We saw him, but we really don't need to see him. We don't, actually.
He met up with his friend, talked about Darcy, of course, because that's all they really had to talk about.
Yep.
They talked about the new girl, I believe. I wasn't really listening to what he had to say.
Well, what he said was the friend met up. He's known this friend for a while, and he's told his friend what went down with Darcy and how he thought things would be different. He still in his heart feels like it could have been different, and still in his heart, he kept saying in his heart, also wanted to see if maybe something could change.
Maybe that's what he put in his letter.
Possibly.
In my heart.
That makes sense. Yeah, in my heart.
I still had love for you.
Let me read the letter. Darcy. Anyways, the friend told him, you know what, to go ahead and shut that door. But what his friend also said was, and I thought was like, see how life comes around full circle? His friend said, well, you know what, you may want to consider marriage and settling down, because you don't want to be 50 and 60 years old alone. Isn't that what he told Darcy?
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, did he tell her that in her face or on his car ride?
It doesn't matter. His friend still said the same exact thing to him that he wanted to shade Darcy with. So the friend also said Tom's nickname is known as the comedian, because he's used to doing all kind of things and going from this one to that one. And I don't think that's a nice nickname to have. If your friends are like saying you just, I don't want to say a clown, but
ooh, not a clown.
But they said a comedian. But then we see Darcy, and she's at home with her girls. They're bonding, they're having girl talk, doing face mask, and you know, she's proud that she's able to shake Tom off, and she's saying how her girls want her to be happy and everything. And they even tell her that, like, Mom, you deserve better. But they always tell her that. It's up to Darcy to believe that she can do better.
So we see Yolanda doing what she does best, on her phone, typing away, still talking to Williams, trying to make us believe that Williams is still there. Production still having back and forth dialogue about Williams, and she's still in love with Williams and what's going on with Williams. She didn't confront him about being Nigerian. She just wanted to see a picture.
Yeah, and she was like, so send me a picture so I know it's really you. And he was like, you send me a picture. So she sent a picture, but never got one in return. She's still waiting on that. She also said that she didn't want to rock the boat with asking him about being Nigerian, about any threats, anything like that, because she's in love with Williams, and she loves the fact of how love makes her feel. And so she doesn't want to rock that boat.
But it's not like you really know the man.
She thinks she does. She says she's invested 7 months in this relationship.
That's not a long time.
Yolanda says she's invested 7 months in this relationship and is not willing to give it up. And she also knows that her kids would be upset with her because they did the reverse image search and she was shown those stock photos, but she doesn't believe it to be true. So back to the phone she goes. The biggest bombshell from last week carried over. David and Lana. Who knew? Who knew?
I still don't believe that's her.
Lana was real. Lana is real, but they showed the 24 hours prior to meeting David. So you see Lana, she's in the gym, she's working out. You see her go buy beauty products. She's like, I know there's lots of nice beauty products in America. She can't wait to try it. She knows David's from Las Vegas. There's lots of casinos. All the intel, right?
Not only does Lana have all the information, she has all the technology. Laptops, iPads, phone. So how come she couldn't communicate with David? And also, how does production know where Lana is before David?
Good question. So, while Lana is out, she goes and has a coffee or something at a cafe. She gets a call from her friend. Friend's like, is he wealthy? She's like, well, he has money. Tells a friend he lives in Las Vegas. And it's like, well, I hope he brings you gifts. She's like, me too.
I'm sure she does.
You know what? Production calls her out, though. It's like, did you meet David online or have you met many men online? And Lana's like,
She said, that's my business.
Yeah, because she didn't answer the question, right? So,
well, she actually did answer the question.
What'd she say?
She said that she met many men who came to Ukraine from online, from the dating site. She didn't say the sites. She said the site. So I'm like, David done came here, 5, 6, 7, 8 times? I don't even know how many times.
This is time number 8. David has been there 7 times. But what got me was when she said, yeah, I knew he came before. I just didn't feel like it. I was like, oh, okay, you got it like that. She didn't feel like meeting him. I don't even know what to say after that.
There's nothing to say after that.
Anyway, the next day, that's when David and Lana meet. And David is still surprised. And I'm surprised they're still standing there. They haven't gone anywhere yet. But I noticed when David hugged Lana, Lana was kind of like, and then David rubbed her back and he said, Now, he said, in those chats before. And I was like,
now you heard it in person.
I was like, ew. I had to actually rewind that. I said, did he say, was that just me? David said, So you can tell what was on his mind.
But did you see those photos, though, that David sent her?
I did.
In that DeLorean from Back to the Future. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I was like, David, how old are those pictures? But then when I was looking at Lana's pictures, and then I saw her in person, I was like, Lana, how old are you?
Right. I mean, it said she was 28, but I don't know. It depends on the lifestyle you live. Sometimes you could be 28 like she is. Sometimes you be 60 like David is and look younger or older than your projected age. But whatever the case may be, Lana is David's girl, and he's determined to get her back in that RV.
When we thought Stephanie was on her one-way ticket back to America, we were wrong. She actually called up Erika so they can have another conversation.
I wouldn't have came if I was Erika. And Stephanie went to the hotel 3 hours away. I definitely wouldn't have came.
For an extra 3-hour drive?
Exactly. 3 hours one way, 3 hours back, that's 6 hours. I wouldn't have came just to hear what you had to say because you're constantly upset, walking out. For what? We broke up. So you could have called me on the phone. You could text me whatever you wanted to say.
Erika's like, you broke up with me. I have to explain this to my family. I explain this to my friends. I came out for you in the front of my family with you.
Yes.
But Stephanie, she gives her side and say, well, I have to go back brokenhearted too. But this time my family doesn't know. My friends don't know. No one knows. So I got the biggest problem of us both.
I was like, that's not even the same. That's not the same. I came out to my family. My friends know about, my relationship clearly, but I came out to my friend. That's the biggest thing you could do. And you going home brokenhearted, it's not the same.
Right.
But of course, Stephanie has to always make it about her.
And then when she gets up and walks away, it was like, well, basically call me if you need me. I'm still here for you.
Right.
Like, what? What is there to talk about? Like, Stephanie must think she's like Geoffrey. They're on the same wavelength of narcissism to me.
Yeah.
Because they really think they're
everything
bigger than what they're actually portraying on camera. So
yeah. I
don't know. If I was Erika, I wouldn't have came, but those production checks must be something for a 3-hour trip.
But what I did appreciate was at the end when Erika finally made it home and she sat around and talked to her mom, telling her how, things really went with Stephanie. And her mom encouraged her to keep being who you are, and someone will be there for you no matter what. So I appreciate that scene.
Right, that was the best scene of the whole show.
Moving on to Avery and Ash. So it's morning now from the meetup from yesterday with Sian. And I'm surprised Avery's in the same hotel as Ash. Mm-hmm. Because, let her tell it, she wasn't feeling it.
Right, but Mom, cover your ears. I don't want you to say, hear nothing. Ash looked good, though, when he came out.
The shower?
He looked good.
He did. He looked like the model that Yolanda was looking for. That's a whole different scene.
But while he looked good, I had to remind myself that he's a liar and he's misogynistic.
Well, Ash is a lot of things, but a relationship coach may not be one of them. But Avery talked to Ash about what was in her heart. And that was, 1, how come you lied to me about not being divorced for more than a year? 2, why'd you tell me Sian was good about Taj coming to America? Ash was looking like, okay. But he did say that, and had the same reasoning that Sian had, but I think him and Sian are kind of on the same team with this anyways.
They probably called each other.
Yeah.
Texted.
That, they just didn't get around to the divorce. And so, that's the reason why. But, there's nothing there anymore. And about Sian and Taj, he said, to be honest, like, she was good about it at first, but she changed her mind, and that's the reason why. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Sian may have changed her mind, but was she really good with it? Because I don't know if I would be good about my kids going to a foreign country to live with a stranger.
You know what tripped me out, though? Is that Avery was like, since Ash told me the truth, it just makes me fall in love with him even more. I'm like, really? Avery gives off the impression that she knows what she's doing, she knows what she's talking about, and she is not going to take his BS, but she's taking it.
Yeah. All the time. She gets back into the vibe of clearly what Ash is good at. Coaching.
Right. It's like she's there. We're like, yeah, okay, Avery. But then she just reels it back in.
Yeah, she does. Later in the afternoon, Avery and Ash go visit Taj before they fly back to Melbourne. And they end up going to a park to have bonding time with Taj. And I thought that was nice. They're at the lake. It's a nice park, too. Skipping rocks. Looks like one of them hit the ducks.
No, it didn't. They would have shown that on TV.
Well, they're having a good time. Avery's thinking like, you know what? I have to rethink this. I don't know if it'll be a good thing to have Taj come to America. Ash was thinking the same thing. Like, he's not sure if he could do it. He would, but Taj is priority. I'm like, that's true. Your children should be priority, should be number 1. What got me was Avery said that she wasn't sure if she was going to do the K-1 visa now.
Avery needs to have several seats because she knows she's going to do that K-1 visa. And if we find out that she doesn't, I will be surprised.
Well, we'll have to see.
Okay, y'all. So that was the end of this week's episode. It looks like we have one more week left.
Yes.
Plus the tell-all next week. Now, I don't know how long they're going to stretch out this tell-all, but hopefully it's no more than 2 weeks. Because any more than 2 weeks, I would be so exhausted.
True. Now, even though the tell-all leaked and you may have got a sneak peek, we're still going to give you the play-by-play week to week to see what happens. But for next week, I'm interested in seeing Usma and baby girl Lisa. I'm also interested in seeing Varya and Geoffrey.
Oh, yes, because Varya and Mary, because at first I was like, Mary, you really with Geoffrey knowing all his BS? But it looked like she was about it. So I'm like, I see you. Well, thank you guys for watching our videos this week. Make sure you let us know what you're excited for next week and what you thought about this week's episode. So make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe to us, and you share this video to other people who also watch 90 Day Fiancé as well.
And thank you to our new subscribers. We appreciate you all. And as always, live simply, be grateful.